Greetings and salutations. I wanted to go ahead and talk about more crypto. As you guys may have noticed, I have changed my uh, YouTube name. Obviously, the channel is going to be called the Crypto Truth, as I will be going over multiple cryptocurrency projects and currencies uh, as well. And I'm also going to be giving a whole lot. Obviously, a lot of you know that I'm a big Holochain supporter, so I'm going to be talking about Holochain quite a bit. Obviously, that's the main reason why I'm making this video today. We're going to go ahead. I want to go ahead and jump right into it and start talking about Holochain. So, all right. So they just had an AMA, and like a lot of previous AMAs, it was a lot of technical jargon. Um, as an investor, for those of you who don't know, I'm a Holochain investor. I also support their technology, but I'm not really a technical guy. I'm not going to get into all of the jargon because I can throw people off. And the best thing I can do or say is that listen to the AMAs, and also they have like a lot of information, a lot of little short clips to just kind of help you understand exactly what Holochain is. However, I like to speak from an investor point of view. Once again, I like to say I am not a professional investor. I'm just a regular guy, just like everybody else. As a matter of fact, I've been busy as of late because I had a paper to write. I'm finished with my paper. I graduated, finally got my master's. So I'm moving along in life. However, that being said, now that I do not have to worry about a paper or homework or all of these other side things, I can concentrate a little bit more on crypto. I'm going to be paying a little bit more attention to different cryptocurrency projects, as I stated before. I'm going to be getting a little bit deeper into Holochain as well, not necessarily from a technical aspect, but from more of a grander point of view. Um, so the last AMA was extremely technical. I found it very interesting that they said nothing. They said nothing about the hot token or hollow fuel. And honestly, I think at this point they are kind of getting tired of talking about it because honestly, at this moment, I think that they are concentrating on getting the product out there. They're not working. Uh, Obviously, they're making a lot of technological advances. They have a lot of upgrades to their HoloNet, and so I have HoloNet. I haven't heard that, but I'm pretty sure it could be a thing. But anyway, the point is that they there's I think they could call it elemental chat or whatever. I think that their progress is going very well. I like the fact that even though, like I said, I don't talk about technical stuff, I think I understand it, but I don't want to get into all of that because, again, like I said before, I could throw someone way off because I can definitely do that very easily. Um, as an investor, though, I will say at this point, how far Holochain has gone, they are definitely going to do something. The hot token, the question that we have right now is what is our ROI? And thanks for the person who brought this up. The main concern is the return on investment, right? We all know that Holochain is a real project. So anyone out there that's saying it's a pump and dump, it's a scam, and everything else in between, honestly, you haven't really done your research, or you are just talking trash. Okay, so we do have a lot of people that talk a lot of trash about their current projects, and they're upset because they invested a whole lot of money and then their money isn't going anywhere. So it's like, what's going on? The biggest case in point, some people who are Ripple fans, that support XRP, they're Ripple fans, but they use XRP. I'm not going to get into all of that, but the point is that um, they hold a lot of XRP. It hasn't gone anywhere. Now they're talking trash about XRP, hoping that the more trash you talk about the project, maybe it'll make you feel better. I don't really understand that whole that psychological thing. I have seen on Twitter one dude, he was talking. He was like, blah blah blah, and everything else in between, like every little update that they give, but I don't really understand that. We're in it for if first off, if you're investing in anything, especially in the cryptocurrency space, it is highly, I mean, I'm not an expert, but I would say if you don't have money to just throw off to the side, I highly recommend you do proper research, invest, and let it sit. Proper research, invest, and let it sit. Do not think that you're going to. There's a lot of hype videos out there. Oh man, you're gonna make $1 billion. Oh man, you're gonna be rich. I mean, oh man, 6 months, man, you're gonna be rolling in dough. It could happen, but the reality of it is that when you make proper investments in the right places, you just have to have patience, especially if it's a real project that has real use case, which is my next thing that I wanted to talk about. Um, when it comes to Holochain, and one of the things that I recognize with through their AMA is the fact that they're going to have some real world use cases, and they're already starting out with a use case like right off the bat. I mean, it's not like they're creating some kind of cryptocurrency um, token and it's not going to be used. And I'm going to get into how the hot token initially will be used, as far as how it's going to be used after Hollow Fuel comes out. That still remains to be seen. And then not only that, but we still have to talk about what's going on with how that's exactly going to work as far as exchanges are concerned, because a lot of people are really starting to run into this issue, and as investors, especially me, I'm over here in America, and as investors, excuse the bird, but as investors, we have to understand that, especially over here in America, we know that it is very very difficult to invest in certain projects. It just is, because of the fact that we can't access certain exchanges. We can't go here. We can't do that. There's a lot of restrictions that we have, and so when there's very few um, exchanges that we can go to, that minimizes exactly what's going to happen. One of the things that happened with uh, the the XRP and I should say and the Spark token. Okay, so this brought up this made me think about some things. If they Just like Hollow Fuel, if you have hot token, you can exchange your hot token. And I've discussed this before in previous videos a little bit deeper. But you have within 6 months, so they say thus far, to change into Hollow Fuel. Now, obviously, if you're if you're an investor, if Hollow Fuel can be exchanged on a crypto exchange for other crypto, then it might be best to go that route. But at the moment, once Hollow Fuel, and again, it almost seems as if the hot token is not going to be used. I don't know. Like I said before, there's a lot of questions out there. Um, Now, can the hot token uh, have value over time? Again, it's possible, but we all don't know. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of confusion out there. First off, I'm going to go ahead and talk about a confusion out there. So there's a lot of people talking about Oh man, I want to get that hollow fuel. I want to get that hollow fuel. I want to get that hollow fuel. I don't understand why people are talking about getting hollow fuel when you're not going to be using it. Like there's no use case for a person who is not hosting to have hollow fuel because you can't do nothing with it. You can't exchange it, and in the beginning, supposedly, you can't exchange it for a different crypto. So having hollow fuel, it makes no sense whatsoever to say, oh, I want to get hollow fuel right off the bat. I just don't understand that. So there's something that again. There's a lot of people with lack of education because they're treating it as if, oh man, when mainnet comes out, they're going to be using, kind of like Cardano, oh man, when Shelly comes out, man, I'm going to use Cardano and everything else in between. It's not like that. That's not the way this project works. And like I said before, I highly advise you, and I know it's complicated. Trust me, I'm one of the people who know it's complicated, at least to me in a way. I'm not, I'm not a very technical person. But again, like I said before, um, we we have gotten to the point to where we are at a crossroads, and we're just as investors, our hands are thrown in the air. We're like, well, what's going on? Here's something that I do know. What we do know is that once hollow fuel comes out, um, it will be used. This is not something that, oh, it might be used, it could be used, it possibly could be used for X, Y, and Z. It will be used. And in order for everyone to have their the hosting and everything else in between, everything's gonna be backed by energy of obviously the hollow fuel. So it's going to be used. The hot token, however, um, like I said, we don't really know exactly how it's going to be used. So, but then that kind of leaves us as investors in a crossroad, right? Because we're like, wait a second. So you're telling me that I have this hot, but the hot token is going to be held, and then I can exchange it 1-to-1 for hollow fuel. But if I exchange it 1-to-1 to hollow fuel will be used, but I really don't have any purpose or reason to even use hollow fuel in the first place. Not only that, but I can't earn hollow fuel. So the only way to get hollow fuel is so I've this is how I've gotten it. I could be confused. Is by purchasing hot. So you purchase hot to get hollow fuel. You earn hollow fuel to exchange it into hot, which can then be exchanged into a regular currency, and I'm just going to call them currencies, such as Bitcoin, whatever cryptocurrency, or into fiat currency. Once there is a peg to fiat currency, hollow fuel to fiat currency, I think, in my own personal opinion, I think that's when that's the time to be like, you know what, I'm out with hot, because the hot token is just a hot token. It's what it is. Me personally, I'd rather invest in something that's going to be used. The problem is that you can't exchange it. So it's like it's a huge gamble. We're literally caught in between. And yes, I've seen some of you guys post, and I really appreciate the educated posts that you guys have as far as how the hot token is supposed to be used, and how and where it's going to be used. But the reality of it is, and if I'm being truthful, and again, I'm going to be covering a lot of cryptocurrency projects. I should say a lot, but a couple cryptocurrency projects, and I'm going to be doing a little deep dive into exactly what's going on and how can it affect how can it affect really the economy, right? Because to be honest with you, I believe that to be an investor, you have to kind of be in a mini economist, because you have to be able to see what's going to be able to hold, what's going to be able to make it in the future. And if you can't do that, then you're going to struggle. Again, that's my personal belief. So obviously, there's a huge future for Holochain, and there's a huge future for Holo Fuel. I do not know yet if there's a huge future for the hot token. Now, what I will say is that obviously, as the project matures, uh, there should be a rise in the hot token price. I hold hot. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people hold some hot. Um, Go ahead. Like for me, I I went ahead and bought the hot token because I know for a fact that this project, the Holochain project, is going to go somewhere. So, um, as I stated before, um, I changed this channel to uh, the Crypto Truth. I know that there's a lot of, for lack of a better word, BS out there, but this is just me being straight up truthful with you guys as far as projects and as far as what's going to make it and what's not going to make it. Okay. Again, like I say, what I was talking about before, going back to what I was saying before about the Spark token. So XRP, and then there's this Spark token. Well, now people are confused on how to change that. And what I was saying before was it's already difficult as it is being over here in America, where we're only on so many exchanges. So how are we going to exchange our hot into hollow fuel? You know, that needs to be a very simple process. Um, and if you can only do it in exchanges, then it definitely needs to be an exchange in which it'll be easy to access. Or the exchange will be okay with exchanging it one to one. So these are things that it has been brought up before. They have had questions. People have asked them questions about it, and at the moment, it's kind of like been kind of like a little silent thing. To be honest with you, I don't think they even know exactly. One, I don't think they're gonna know. I don't think they know the price. One of the biggest issues is hollow fuel. I don't think people know exactly what hollow fuel is going to be worth. And then again, Holochain runs on microtransactions, so that's another thing to take into account, and that might be the reason. And I'm only speculating here, but that might be the reason why there's so many hot tokens in the first place. Which brings me back to if you're investing in the hot token, for some people who are like, well, I got like 50 hot, I'll see where it's gonna go. Well, if you have 50 hot, I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. I would invest that somewhere else. That's me personally, because I mean, 50 hot is like nothing. So I understand that if some people want to dip their toe in, but the reality of it is that if you're going to invest in something, invest at least a little bit, so that you can have a good return on investment. I'm not going to go through specific numbers. Everyone out there is different. We all have our different goals on what we want to do, but just keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of microtransactions run on Holochain, and because of that, um, I personally believe that the hot token is not going to get to like $10 or $15 or anything like that. I think that it's going to be now. That's if they don't burn the hot token. And again, I'm gonna talk about that later. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do a little bit more research. I'm gonna try to dig and find some things that they talked about before and try to break down and try to put it together like little pieces of exactly all of the information, so that we can kind of have a bigger picture of what's going on. Because this, if you want to, and that's another thing that I believe that's holding a lot of people back as far as investing. Not only is Holochain a complicated project to really understand, an innovator's project, and a great, by the way, it's a great project. As I said, as I put in my previous video, I believe it's the greatest project. So what we what needs to happen is there has to be more clarity, because again, a lot of people are not going. I tell people this all the time, and I'm still telling everyone on here, anyone listen to this, do your own research, do your own research, do your own research. It's getting to the point to where everything's starting to heat up within countries as far as how they're treating cryptocurrencies. My guess, and by the way, I should really call it I call it an educated guess. An educated guess is the fact that when as technology improves, it's going to be more and more. As a matter of fact, it's already more and more difficult, especially with DeFi and everything else in between, to be able to track cryptocurrencies. So, government governments are already having a hard time tracking cryptocurrencies, and the people who are trying to avoid taxes and everything else in between, money laundering and all those, they're becoming more intelligent. That's just the reality of it. And here's another nugget of truth that's going to happen when when governments can't really stop or track any of those things. The next step, the next step, excuse me, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, and I know people are like, man, that's crazy. But the next step, if you can't control the transactions or the currency, the next thing is to control how they transact, which would be the internet, right? So obviously that's where Holochain comes in, and but again, even going that far, if the government can't control that, then what's next? It's to control the people. Um, I'm not gonna go into conspiracy theories and all that other good stuff, but we have lived in a world in which there's been so many inefficiencies, um, that we're getting to a point to where people are getting tired of not advancing. People are getting tired of not being able to live in a world in which you're working smarter, not harder, being a little bit more efficient. We're in the year like over here in America, we have a lot of people that we have too many. To me, as far as technology is concerned, we have too many people who are over here in America that can't take a shower. Like that's like a bare minimum over here in America. You should be able to take a shower anytime you get ready, just water and soap, right? Like that's all that's really needed. But it's so difficult. Obviously, I'm not talking about people who choose to live, on the street and all other good stuff. I'm talking about people who really, truly, honestly want to be able to bathe and clean themselves, and they cannot because either they don't have a place to stay or they have no place to go. And with the technology that we have and everything that we have over here in America, and by the way, I'm only talking about America right now because I've been to other countries. I've been to Germany. I've been to Japan. I've been to ooh uh some and I've been to the Middle East. I've been to some parts of the Indian Ocean, uh, in Indonesia, just different areas. So I've been all over the place, and I do understand that other countries have it. The world is different, and even in those countries, they are even getting more and more frustrated. As a matter of fact, I will say um, more frustrated because there's less freedom in other countries to be able to do and to be able to say what you want. And again, like all of these things are being controlled because the governments, if they control the technology, if they control how you transact, if they control your finances and everything else in between, they're going to use you, and it's not going to be in the most efficient manner. People in the world are really getting tired, especially, and I'm going to say over here in America, me personally, I'm getting tired of all the inefficiencies that we're having. We have technology that could solve a lot of problems, but we're not using it. We still have drugs coming from all over. We still have, you know, what we still have trafficking, a lot of trafficking. We have so many things going on in our society, and the government, it just seems like they don't want to update their technology to do anything to solve any problems. And now we're in the financial matter. Now we're in this financial thing in which Bitcoin is pretty much taking over everything. And now they're like, well, what are we going to do? Well, you should have seen this coming, you know? And I don't understand it with these governments and stuff. You got to be able to see things ahead of time. You should have seen this coming because there's so many snakes, there's so many greedy people out there, and leaders and politicians that's really destroying and the financial system, the bankers, all of those destroying the financial system, and they didn't care. There's too much disparity between the rich and the poor, and they really don't care. And now they're starting to care because they're like, whoa, wait a second here. We can't be used. We're not going to be used, or we can do something else, or the citizens can do something else, and they don't have to go through us. Then how are we going to make our money? Now they're starting to be in a frantic mode, not because of the fact that it's more efficient to do something a better way, but because they are losing money. And at the end of the day, if they're losing money, then there's a problem. Okay, so once again, we have this balance between ethics and morality, and then efficiency. So again, I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm already got way too deep as far as that's concerned. But I'm just saying how important it is to do your own research and really understand exactly where this world is going to go. And you have to be able to look towards the future. Right now, as I stated before, if they can't control transactions, if they can't track transactions, and if they can't control the internet, the next thing that they're going to try to control in any government is control the people. And you do that by a couple of ways, but I'm not going to get into that. Actually, that's another video. I'm thinking about creating a whole different channel dedicated specifically to culture, how we see things and how we're being told things, how we're raised, and how and again, religion. So those are things that you're not really supposed to talk about, but in the world. But I'm going to really do a deep dive into those things because honestly, that's exactly one of the biggest reasons as to what's happening in our culture today, and especially over here in America. So anyway, sorry about that. Sorry. Going back into Holochain. As I stated before, please do your own research. Listen to the last AMA. They're doing great. The project's continuing. There's not going to be any exact dates. I will be keeping track of exactly what's going on. And like I said, I'm going to do a little bit more deep. I'm going to do a deeper research. So the next video, I'm going to talk about their other projects that's actually tied to them, like Kazuna, like Red Grid, other things. Because there's a lot of projects out there that's planning to run on Holochain. So they actually have Holochain has a lot of responsibility. And if they don't come through, then they're gonna let a whole lot of people down, and especially people who are invested in these projects for so long. So anyway, we're getting to that point to where I would say in a 100-yard dash. I love I love sports and track and stuff like that. When we say 100-yard dash, or we say basketball, we're in the third quarter right now. We're in the third quarter, and then when we hit the fourth quarter, hopefully things will come through. We'll see exactly what's going on. Maybe we can put things together. I think 2021 is going to be a great year for the hot token. But then again, I think 2021 is going to be great for a lot of tokens, a lot of coins in the cryptocurrency space, because a lot of people are going to start coming in. A lot of people are going to start investing into different projects. And unfortunately, a lot of people are also going to get scammed. And I hate to say that, but I talk about I think I have a video on how on crypto scams. It's coming, people. It's coming. And then right now, it's it's already there. You know, I had a friend. I don't know where it was. Send me something or whatever, and it was talking about Bitcoin and what level, and if you invest one Bitcoin, then you're gonna get 4 or 5 Bitcoin, and you get 3 other people. Look, people are going to start using cryptocurrencies for multi-level marketing. Do not get into that. Do not get into that stuff. Okay? Don't. Just don't go there. And use your knowledge, invest yourself, control your money the way you want, and then reap benefits and returns down the road. It's going to take patience. I understand that. But it's a whole lot better than investing 400, 500, 1800, or even what Bitcoin is now, 19,000, whatever it is. And then having those people, I don't know, spend 5 to 10 years in jail only for them to still own Bitcoin that they probably have stashed somewhere, and they come out and then they're even richer than when they were when they went into jail. So again, it's getting crazy out there. You guys be careful, be safe. Please, please, please do your own research. I'm gonna do a little bit more deeper investigating into Holochain. We're going to have a little bit more, in the future, we're going to have a little bit more formatted videos in which I won't be going on different tangents, but I'm going to have a piece of paper. It's going to help me stay on track, because there's a lot of information to dissect, and we're going to get there. Take it easy.